We all know these names, Shaq and Hakeem. Those two players are some of the greatest centers to ever play in the NBA. Let me tell you about a time when Shaquille O'Neal called out Hakeem Olajuwon to a one-on-one duel. But first, make sure to watch the whole video. Please, hit the like and subscribe if you didn't already, because that gives me the support and motivation to make more quality NBA videos for you. Let's get to the story. Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most dominant physical players in the NBA ever, or maybe even the most dominant ever. Some people argue that Wilt was more dominant, but it was a different era and we will never know. Shaq was born in 1972 in New Jersey. He was drafted to the NBA from Louisiana State University, the LSU Tigers. Orlando Magic drafted Shaq, and he automatically elevated the team from a 21-61 record to a 41-41 the first year he played. The man was an unstoppable beast, and he dominated the league as soon as he came in. In his first NBA season, he averaged 23.4 points per game, 13.9 rebounds, as well as 3.5 blocks. In only his third season in the NBA, Shaq led the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals in 1995. He averaged 29.3 points per game that year and finished second in MVP voting, right behind David Robinson from the Spurs. You have to remember, Shaq was 22 years old that season, finished second in MVP voting, losing to a 29-year-old experienced veteran, David Robinson, who averaged 27.6 points per game. Figure that. In those NBA Finals in 1995, Shaq met Hakeem Olajuwon, an 11-year vet having the best year of his career at the age of 32, averaging 27.8 points per game. This guy had it all: a sweet jumper, finesse in his game, all kinds of fakes, and was a great defender. Just an unbelievable all-around player. That experience helped Olajuwon literally destroy Shaq in the NBA Finals. Shaq was great, but Olajuwon also destroyed David Robinson as well. But that's for another time. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on that. You would not be able to understand the crazy dominance of Olajuwon just by looking at Hakeem's and Shaq's stats, but if you actually watched the games that year and saw what Olajuwon did to Shaq, you know exactly what I'm referring to. The experience of Olajuwon, who played in the finals the year before, proved too much for a young cat like O'Neal, even though he was so dominating physically. The Houston Rockets ended up sweeping the Orlando Magic in 4 games and easily winning the championship. That title was the second one in a row for the Rockets after winning one just the year before against the New York Knicks, where Olajuwon dominated another superstar center by the name of Patrick Ewing. Just so you see, O'Neal's averages in those finals against Olajuwon were 28 points, 12.5 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 2.5 blocks per game. Looking at just those stats, O'Neal had an awesome series. Yet he got dominated by Olajuwon, whose averages were as follows: 32.8 points, 11.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. After Shaq got literally embarrassed by Olajuwon in those finals, he was furious. After the series, Shaq sent a note to Olajuwon calling him out to a one-on-one matchup. He also said something like this in a recent interview: "He kind of edged me out in the finals, but it wasn't a really fair edge out because when I got the ball, they doubled me and we didn't double him. I wanted to show people that I'm unstoppable. Nobody can guard me one-on-one. My NBA game was nothing like my one-on-one game," Shaq said. "My one-on-one game was similar to Grant Hill. I could handle it, put it between the legs, do a lot of tricks and all that stuff. Olajuwon wouldn't have been expecting that. He wouldn't have been ready for that. I wanted to be able to showcase a different game." This whole idea with the note and one-on-one matchup was created by a former longtime agent for Shaq and Olajuwon, Leonard Amato, who right after the NBA Finals struck a deal with Taco Bell to run a whole marketing campaign leading up to a showdown in Atlantic City. Because of all that, in 1995, in September, Shaq and Olajuwon were sitting at a makeshift stage waiting to have a press conference and talk about their upcoming one-on-one matchup scheduled September 30th. Unfortunately, after hours of research, I was not able to find any video or photos from the press conference for the matchup, which was promoted by no other than the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The matchup was supposed to take place in Atlantic City in the Taj Mahal Casino. During the press conference, there was also a 19-year-old Kevin Garnett and Joe Smith there as well, since they were the undercard for the whole show. Amato even signed Spike Lee to make Hakeem and Shaq household names in the same way he made Michael Jordan the coolest athlete in the world with the "It's Gotta Be the Shoes" Nike spot. Lee directed and starred in a commercial for Taco Bell featuring both Shaq and Hakeem, acting like pals over a double-decker flour and corn tortilla tacos. It was hilarious. The whole show was hyped up as a 1995 pay-per-view event, and it was going great right up until the night before when Amato got a phone call from Clyde Drexler. To me, it's very surprising that Drexler was the one making the phone call. Drexler told Amato that about a week before Olajuwon injured his back. They thought at the time that they still had time and could wait and that it's going to get better. Unfortunately, Drexler told Amato that the back wasn't getting better. After having doctors examine Olajuwon and his injury, the whole thing got canceled and never happened. If you ask me, that's too bad, because I would love to see what would have happened between those two and who would have actually won. In one clip from an All-Star game, we can see Shaq fake MJ in a one-on-one move, which proves he had some decent moves, like he was saying. Overall in his career, Shaq has more championships and beat Olajuwon in those 4-2. Career stat-wise, the comparison looks like this. Shaq, 23.7 points per game, 10.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.3 blocks, 0.6 steals, and just over 50% in free throws. I had to say that because Shaq's free throws were always crap, and personally, I can't believe someone as good as a basketball player as him, with enough practice, wasn't able to improve his free throws to at least 70%. Field goal percentage was 58% for Shaq. Olajuwon's career averages are 21.8 points, 11.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 3.1 blocks, and 1.7 steals. The metrics in rebounds, blocks, and steals show that Olajuwon was a better defender, no question. Olajuwon's free throw percentage was 71.2. Field goal was 51. There's not much overall difference by the stats, but Shaq was just too young and inexperienced for the Rockets. The whole Orlando Magic team was. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.